All right, what's up, guys? I was supposed to upload a video yesterday, but I suddenly became busy. If that makes sense. All right, so let's look at our pairs. I don't trade UCAT as of right now. Um, haven't been looking at it just because I took that L. It was too volatile. I'm gonna look at it next week, but this week I'm just not really paying much attention to it. So overall, we look at the monthly when it comes down to UJ. So the first thing about UJ that we analyze and we identify is the breakaway from the bearish trend line, retest on the support zones. Now we see that information. We look at the daily. We see a market respect this bearish trend line as of here. Breakaway, retest, wicks on the downside, meaning that there's a lot of sellers exhaustion going on at this point. So overall, I was in a sell prior to this, and I got in around this level and I actually got out right here just because of the simple fact that I started to see a lot of resistance when it came down to this specific support level right here. So when it came down to this, we see a bullish trend line respected multiple times, breakaway, retest multiple times, but at the same time, it hasn't pushed below this. We see wicks on the downside, meaning there's a lot of sellers exhaustion going on right now. Let's look at the 1 hour to give us a clearer picture. So right here, what I'm seeing is a lot of support on these levels, resistance as well. Actually got on prior to this point. It's within this level right now. So let's just keep an eye on it. Potentially my TP is 38 pips. Not necessarily a big trade, but just something that I could potentially see. Because after it gets to this point, I expect there to be a lot of hesitation right here, just a lot of resistance and the potential for the market to maintain a downward direction after that. But within this zone, I do expect consolidation and just a potential for the market to maintain an upward trend. Overall, market has respected this bearish trend line multiple times, broke away, retested, and retested on that support zone. So let's just keep an eye on it, potentially see what we could see on it. EU. EU, I got in on it as a sell. It was a simple sell. Um, we look at the monthly. We see market confirm that there's a lot of resistance on those levels. Support and resistance, the trend line is still being respected. Not much as the other time. So when we look at the daily now, that's where it gets a little bit different. Now we see the market break away from this bearish channel. And at the same time, what we're starting to see is the market hit this major resistance points right here. Why? Because there's a lot of points where the market hits and consolidates within this general area. So this is on the daily. Let's look at the 4 hour. So now looking at the 4 hour, based on this information alone, if I'm being completely honest, I based my trade based on the daily. But at the same time, what I started to see was the market respect this bullish trend line, breakaway, retest on the outside. So let's look at it on a 1 hour to give us a more clear picture. So overall, we do see this bullish trend line respected once, twice, and break away, retest once, and retest 3 times. Another thing was that the market hit this resistance twice. There's wicks on the upside, so that's a lot more confirmation for me to potentially get on this trade as a sell. I actually got in as soon as the market broke away past beyond this level. So EU is still confirming itself for me. It has hit a point of resistance and support based on this level. So we're just going to wait and see what's going to happen in this market. If anything, market might retest within these levels. And if it starts consolidating, that's another confirmation for a sell to continue. AU. I'm actually in AU right now. So let's look at the monthly. Overall, on the monthly, what we see is very simple information. Market has respected this bearish trend line, broken away from it, and now it's hitting that support and resistance zone. When we look at the daily, what we're starting to identify is simple. Market has found a lot of resistance when it came down to this support. Overall, market has not pushed above this. We're starting to see the same configuration, the same wicks on the upside. I mean, there's a lot of sellers exhaustion. Buyers exhaustion. So let's look at the 4 hour to give us a clear picture. Overall consolidation is happening. Another confirmation that I have is this bullish trend line being respected once, twice, and then a breakaway, but then the breakaway under it to that retest. Let's look at the 1 hour. So overall, market has respected this. It broke away above it. That would have been a potential for a buy, but at the same time, it broke away under it. So there's a lot of resistance within these levels. So my confirmation for this multiple is just sell based on this information. And my TP, of course, is based on the fact that there is a lot of resistance within these levels. So let's go to US 30. US 30 was a very simple trade. I've been on it since last week, I believe. Market has not pushed above these levels. Let's reconfirm that market has not pushed above these levels. It has been quite a while that the market has not moved itself above that. Um, that's basically on a daily. Let's look at the 4 hour. So simple trade setup. The reason was so simple is because of the fact that we see this bullish trend line respected once, twice, 3 times, and breakaway and retest not once, 2, and 3 times. That would have been multiple entries for anybody to get into this trade. So market has pushed above, pushed below this level. There's a lot of wicks on the upside. That's another indication that there's a lot of buyers exhaustion. And what we're seeing right now is just a lot of consolidation. So expectation for US 30 for me is very probable that it's going to maintain a downward trend. If you want to get into US 30, just be very careful. Even on a small lot size, this is very, very, very risky. So I would just wait until it breaks away from this consolidation and see what the market does as far as the candles and how the wicks form. Overall, if a market starts consolidating, breakaway, and retest, and that's potential for the market to maintain a downward direction, and that could be a potential re-entry into US 30. So now let's go to Ripple. I've been in Ripple for quite a bit. I actually got in over here, went below this level, then re-entered within these zones. It has not hit my stop loss, so I'm not necessarily concerned about it. We don't really look at the monthly. I'm going to tell you one. There's not enough history for you to get into this trade. Look at the daily. Overall market has found a lot of resistance when it comes down to this support. Market has not pushed below that. Above that. So the expectation for this market to maintain a downward trend is highly probable. We do see this bullish trend line being respected once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, breakaway and retest on the downside, and there's wicks on the upside, meaning that there's a lot of buyers exhaustion. So there's potential for the market to maintain a downward direction. And overall, there's this consolidation happening so far. Market has shown a lot of wicks on either direction, so there's not enough information to confirm a potential sell reentry. But as of now, my buy is still sell there. Simple fact, market is not pushing above this. So that's basically it, guys. Overall, if you guys want to have, wait a minute. Okay. So overall, if you guys just analyze your pairs, just try to be patient with it. There's not necessarily anything that I can say 100% guarantee. Just look at what you see and stuff. I do apologize that I haven't been posting more, just because of the fact that I've been very busy. A lot to do with the course and contacting people about intros and all that stuff. And at the same time, I've been doing other things. I've been pursuing other things as well, expanding my horizons. But another thing I do want to emphasize is that Pip Culture will not be released October 25th. I scratched that date just because I want to make it a whole lot better, and I want to give you guys a whole lot more. Meaning that Pip Culture Academy is going to include 4 books. 4 books that I want to include physical, audible, or online versions of them for my students, as well as other stuff that I want to give out with it, so I can give you guys the biggest head start when it comes down to this, because trading is not just about looking charts. Looking at charts is also about mentality, mindset, and everything that has to do within that. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have a good mindset and if you aren't able to control your emotions, then you're gonna have a hell of a hard time with this. So the course is gonna range. It's never gonna be over $100. I'm not gonna say it's never gonna be over $100, but it's when I release it, it's not gonna be over $100. That's for a fact. But if I do want to include all the things that I want to include in the course, I do have to up the price based on what I used to say, what I wanted the price to be. I don't necessarily want to make Pip Culture Academy to make money. I just want to give it in a sense to have people join it to better themselves as far as trading and learn from my strategy, and I'll implement other students. But let me just emphasize this: Pip Culture is its own thing. It's not associated with anybody else or any MMLM or anything like that. So if you guys want to rep Pip Culture, you're more than free to welcome to do it. Just understand, do not associate it with MLMs. Please do not do it. I do not want to give it that impression to people, and that's just a fact. I never liked that. Coming from an MLM personally, I just feel like Pip Culture is its own thing, its own identity, and just because I came out of an MLM doesn't mean that It's because of that that I became this. I've been trading before I was involved in any MLM, so this is make that very clear. And the reason I want to make that very clear is because I want to emphasize to people that you do not need to join an MLM to get into trading. That's the simple fact. That's why I don't want Pip Culture Academy to be so expensive, and that's why I want to offer it as a one lifetime fee, so that they never have to pay monthly again. Because at the end of the day, let's say your course is $250 a month, and there's another course that's worth $800, but it's only one time fee. Put that in consideration. You're just paying upwards of $3,000 a year just to have a course, a monthly, as opposed to having a lifetime course for $800 for the rest of your life. And there's a continuous input information. I'm not saying my course is going to be $800, but I'm just saying that if there's a potential for it to raise that price, then there's going to be, but that's going to be years from now. But right now, my course is not going to push beyond $100. That's a fact. So I hope you guys have a great day. And I just needed to make that very clear to everybody, just because I know a lot of people have been posting Pip Culture and rep it. Just to make it very clear, you're not associated with an MLM. This is an independent thing. It's always been independent. And at the end of the day, it's all about helping people out. That's why I said do not want to make that much money with Pip Culture. I feel like if I start making more money with Pip Culture Academy than with my trading, I failed, because of the simple fact that I should be making more money with my tradings, just because it is a very versatile thing, and you can make a lot more money through investments as far as that's concerned. And just the education part is my passion, and I really do want to help people out with it. So I hope everybody has a great day, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Sorry, I just got a message. I'll be posting a video probably today's Tuesday, so probably Thursday, just to recap what happened throughout the week. But yeah, another thing that I want to start implementing though on these things, because once the reason I've been very also distant on the group chat is because Pip Culture is going to come out soon. It's going to come out before the end of the year. I haven't had a date exactly. It did say October 25th, but just because I do want to put more information in it, and I want to implement the best information, I do want to make it more professional. I want to do it on a later date. But overall, when it comes down to, damn, I forgot what I was going to say. I was looking at the charts and I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, but Pip Culture is going to come out later this year. Just look out for that. I also wanted to start doing merch for it, but that's also later on. But just keep an eye on it. At the same time, my promise is true. This course is going to be free for certain people, not everybody involved in the group chat. Let me emphasize why. Because of the fact that not everybody has been consistently putting in work. And I haven't been on the group chat. Oh, that's probably what I was going to say. I haven't been in the group chat just because I want to distance myself from that. Because once Pip Culture comes out, I'll make a whole different group chat with people that have Pip Culture. Doesn't matter if it's only 2 or 3 people or 5 people. Trust me, you will have my undivided attention consistently. And I'll be posting practically every single day. Why? Because now people are putting their money into it. They're putting their time and effort and money into it. So I do not want to waste people's time, and I do not want to waste their effort into making something great out of something like this. So hope everybody has a great day. Remember, if you want to receive Pip Culture Academy for free, just put in the work. I see it. I believe it. Honestly, right now, I do not see more than 5 people getting it for free, if I'm being completely honest. That's it. Because I haven't seen that many people being consistent with it. And if anything, I haven't seen enough input from everybody as far as the trades and stuff. And I do see people post online and stuff. Another thing that I do want to emphasize for everybody that's learning how to trade, stick to one trading strategy. Don't try to be a master of all trades. I don't know why people try to do that, because it completely contradicts yourself. And trading is something where you need to know everything, because if you try to know everything, then you try to implement everything. And once you try to implement everything, you're consistently contradicting your trading strategies with each other. And sometimes they confirm it, sometimes they don't. So just emphasize this very clearly. Learn one trading strategy. Try your best to master it, and don't move on from the next one. It doesn't matter if it's mine or anybody else. This is just general advice. Learn one trading strategy. It will help me throughout the years to become a better trader. It's just mastering one trading strategy. I started off jumping from one thing to another, and literally it did not help me until I stuck with one thing and tried to better myself and master that one thing. The simplest way for me to analyze that was just by doing it consistently and just focusing on one thing. So, and I feel like if your charts are cleaner, your charts are better, and you're just learning one strategy is the best. And that's honestly, I don't know why people want to learn so many strategies. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me because of the fact that there's thousands out there, and more than often they will contradict each other. But if they do complement each other and they better each other, then that's more power to you. But at the same time, just learn one thing. Don't try to be a jack of all trades, because honestly, you'll end up feeling like a jackass. Just to make that clear. All right, have a great day, guys.